Hi, and welcome to day 7 of our exploration into systems of equations. We have looked at solving by graphing, which we could graph and find out where the two graphs cross, their intersection is a solution. We've looked at substitution, where we could find the value of one variable in one equation, plug that value into the second equation, and solve to get the numerical value, plug that back in, and now we're going to learn elimination. Here are the steps. You're going to choose the two variables. That's if you don't already have them given. Write a system of equations. Eliminate one of the variables by combining the two equations. I think you'll find this very interesting. Solve for the second variable and solve for the first variable using substitution. So we're going to use substitution again, but not the whole thing. So let's look at this. Marcus is thinking of two numbers whose sum, that means we're going to add them together, is 89. Their difference is 11. What are the two numbers? So to write this out, we could simply say that x plus y equals 89. Okay? It tells us use x and y. Their difference, so let's say x minus y equals 11. Alright, so what we're going to do is literally add the two equations together. So let me rewrite them here. X plus y equals 89. X minus y equals 11. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to add these together, and we get 2x. Now when we add the y's together, look what happens. Well, notice that those would just cancel out. And then we add, finally, these together, and we get 100. So we find out that 2x equals 100. We're going to divide by the coefficient of x. We have x equals 50. All right. So we can plug this back into something up here. And let's see, we're going to move down. So now that we know that x is 50, we can use it to solve for y. So the way we would do that is we have 50 plus y equals 89, and I got that from our first equation. If you see up here, x plus y is 89. I know that x is 50, so I just plug that in. So I can subtract 50 from both sides. I get y equals 39. So the two numbers are 50 and 39. Let's get some more practice with that. But what we are doing is we are literally adding two equations together. All right? The sum of two numbers is 25. Is means equals. So I can do x plus y equals 25. Their difference, that means subtract, is 7. So is 7. That's x minus y. All right. So if I solve using the elimination method, x plus y, I'm going to rewrite it here, equals 25. X minus y equals 7. So let's add these two together. That gives me 2x. Let's add these two together. That's 0. And then let's add these two together, and we get 32. So we now have 2x equals 32. Divide by the coefficient, x equals 16. So now I can go back and I can plug it back into here. So I'm going to rewrite this right here, but instead of x, I'm going to write 16 plus y equals 25. Subtract the 16, subtract the 16. We have y equals 9. So the two numbers are y is 9, x is 16. Alright, so here, once again, we have two numbers, x and y. Their difference is 18. So let's go ahead and write that. X minus y equals 18. X plus y equals 42. We add our x's together, we get 2x. Add the y's together. I'm not sure, that should not be a negative there. Not sure where that came from. Equals 18 and 42 is 60. Divide by 2. Divide by 2. We'll move this up so it's a little higher. We get x equals 30. I see all those little marks that I made that they just kind of jumped around and we lost them up top. So now I can plug back in, and I prefer to use addition rather than subtraction. So I know x is 30, so I can write in here 30 plus y equals 42. Subtract my 30. I get y equals 12. There's my other answer right there. Alright. These last few are set up for you. So we can add those, add those, add those. And that'll be adding all our x's. And we'll add all our y's for our second terms. And all of our third terms. Alright, so let's do this. That would be 4b. The f's cancel out. 19 and 17 would give me 36. Divide by 4. That gives me b equals 9. So, if I want to use this one with addition, well, I'd have to multiply that. So let's do this one, even though we don't like to subtract. 9 minus f equals 17. So we'll subtract our 9. We end up with negative f equals 8. Divide by negative 1, so we can get a positive f. And we get f equals negative 8. Alright, so here we're going to do number 4. 2x and 3x is 5x. Y's cancel out. Equals 7 minus negative 12 is negative 5. So we divide by our coefficient. We get x equals negative 1. Alright, so let's plug that back in. 2 times negative 1 plus y equals 7. Negative 2 plus y equals 7. Add our 2 back in. Y equals 9. Now, when you have x's and y's, what I really want you to do is I want you to put it into coordinate form. Now, the b and the f, that's fine. But for here, since you have x and y, I want you to go ahead and put it into coordinate form, -1, 9, just like that. There's your answer. All right. Let's do number 5. 4x and 3x, we add them together, you get 7x. These cancel out, equals 14. Divide by the coefficient, x equals 2. So let's go over here. We're going to plug this in. 4 times 2 plus y equals 13. 8 plus y equals 13. Subtract 8, subtract 8. Y equals 5. So our answer will be, this is x and y, 2, 5. Make sure, please, that you box in your answers when you're doing your assignment. All right. Now this can also happen. See, our x's cancel out. -10x plus 10x cancels out. 5y minus 2y gives me 3y. 25 minus 16 gives me 9. Divide by our coefficient. Y equals 3. So I can go ahead, I can start my answer right here, 3. I don't know what my x is, but I know my y is 3. So I'm going to find out what is 10x minus 2, and then that's y, so I'm going to do times 3 equals -16. 2 times 3 is 10x minus 6 equals -16. Add my 6 back in. 10x equals -10. Divide by my coefficient, which is 10. I end up with x equals -1. So that goes here. Remember, for elimination, you simply add vertically. Line up your x's, line up your y's, line up the other side of the equal sign. Add them up. Solve for a variable. Take that variable, substitute it back into one of your equations, solve for the other variable.